Hi, Hamlet. This is Keith. I am making this video to introduce the pass system. I did make a prior video, but I updated a couple of different things, so I'll make sure it's most recent information. All right, so we're going to be doing a new pass system. We're going to be starting that, and this is just to hold us over until we actually get the e-pass system. And the reason why I went this route is because, well, we're going to be doing something similar with the ePass system anyway, and we might as well get used to using devices to check kids in and out of different places of the building. And it also makes it a lot easier to track and get the trends and data that we need to make any changes. Now, this process is not going to be as intuitive or adaptable as the ePass system is. Um, but it's still going to be, I think, better than what we're doing now. So, with that said, if a student needs to go into the hallway for whatever reason, they're going to be signing out of a computer. Uh, I would prefer, and I think it's better if the teacher does sign them out. But handle it however you think is best in terms of that. I really don't want to give the students the direct links to the forms because then at some point they could start. There is potential to misuse it if they have the links on their computer. So hopefully, a device. I know most teachers have a Chromebook and a iPad that we got during COVID, but if only one computer is open, it's really not a tedious process. Once you get used to it, it should go by pretty quick. Each kid that signs out should maybe be about like 5, 10, 15 seconds per kid, which is, kind of how long you would do a standard written pass anyway. I know you have like the bathroom passes that are laminated. That's, you just kid just grabs it and goes, but that's not working most of the time. So we need to fix it. So here we go. 3-step process. If a kid is going to the bathroom, they would have to sign out of the room, check in at the bathroom, and then sign back in once they return to the room. All right. So it works like this. Um, I have it set up on my computer. I have two different places I use. I made a dashboard which where all my stuff I normally go to is really quickly. I made this in Google Spreadsheets and has links to different either websites or mostly like the Google Suite with docs and spreadsheets and all that. Or I have my browser, which I have a couple of different links. And I set up the class sign out, the check in, and the return here. Now, if you are not a teacher or staff member that has bathroom duty, you don't need the check in. But if you are covering the bathroom, you will need the check in link. So, what happens is you would click on the sign in link when a kid needs to leave the room, and they should have this form here. Now, I've already used it. All you have to do is click submit another response. If you notice that your email for the device should be on there, and that's fine. Actually, if the teacher's email shows up there, then it's very high probability that student does definitively have permission because they should not be on your computer otherwise. You're going to want to click that. You have to anyway, and you put in the student's name. So let's say my name is um, Mikey Volino, and I'm in sixth grade, homeroom 110, leaving from 110, and I have to go potty. I pick the first floor. I submit it. Now, the teacher should be able to see the list. There's going to be a list here, and it should populate at the top. It may take a second or two. Oh, see, it popped in right there. Mike Avellino has the date, timestamp, first name, last name, grade, homeroom, coming from, going to. And then also I have a conversion over here for standard time to separate and make it easier to see. Over to the right of that main list is a number of visits to the bathroom list. Now, this actually should update. If the name is put in consistently the same, it should tabulate on that name. However, if we don't enter in the name of the same person who goes multiple times a day the same way, it will show up as a separate person here. So that's not something that I can easily change or upgrade. But the person who is checking in students at the bathroom, I think will get used to seeing the names come in and be able to keep a accurate tabulation of how many times a student has been out. It'd be easy to see. All right, and over here on the right side says estimated number of students at or in transit to from the bathroom. Depending on if the students are properly checking back into the classroom afterwards, this number will go down. However, if we only do the sign-in step, this number will just keep going up. So this is really a guide. So if the students aren't checking back in, that's a sign of two problems. One, that people aren't using it, or students are not checking back in. And students are going to be held accountable if they're not checking back in, they're just wandering around. So this number is a guide. If you see this number really high and you look at the times and you see that, the times are pretty close together, this number might be pretty accurate. You might not want to send that student out of the room. It is color coded. When the number is low, it'll code down to either like orange, yellow, or green. If it's really high, it'll be red. I believe it's set at if 10 or more are at the bathroom or in the hallway, this is red. But it doesn't keep anyone from actually signing out. I do not recommend sending out if that number is high. When a student gets to the bathroom, the staff or faculty member who is covering the bathroom should have this list open, checking to see who's coming. If the student is not on this list and you have bathroom duty, they should not be using the bathroom. They need to go to whatever classroom they're supposed to be at, sign out from there. So if they're not on this list, okay, they should go back to a room and then sign out appropriately. But if they are on this list, well, then they are to be checked in. So again, that has to be an address noted here. So you would click yes to that, and then you would sign them in. Okay, their homeroom. Yep, we're still going to do that. At some point, maybe that will be taken out.
For Miss Osborne.
So, and if they're at the first floor bathroom and that's where they're supposed to be, you click that. If they're not at the right spot, they're not the right bathroom, redirect them unless there was a bathroom was closed. So if second floor bathroom is closed and they have to go down to the first floor, fine, let them go. Then you would submit it and it checks in. All right, so their name should show up on the checklist. All right, bathroom check-in, and it popped in right there. So now checked into the bathroom. If there's a line, they go into line and wait their turn. And when they're done with the bathroom, they do not have to check out of the table. They just go back to their classroom. Once they get back to the classroom, step 3, they sign in really quickly. Mikey Valino, 6th grade. At this point, we do not need too much information, but going back to Scudetti's room, it is possible they might be going to a different room depending on when it happens. That's fine. Click submit. Now, the number should go down in the first window, but let's check the last one when they return back to the classroom. Yep. Shows up here. Valino went back to Scudetti's room, 124. Now that first list, see, it went from 13 down to 12. So if a student checks out and then checks back in, this number goes down. And that's basically how it works. Now, I'm going to be responsible for every day or 2 days, I'm going to clear out this list. I'm going to take all this information and I'm going to put it into the archive data. That way we can look at trends over time a lot easier. So once we start using this, all that information will go here, and you'll be able to look at it. So if you need to look to see if something happened at a certain time, you'll be able to check it out. Okay, so I have that all set up. If you have any issues, please let me know. Worst comes the worst, we definitely want step 1 and 2 done. If there's coverages that are missing and whatnot, or a person who is covering the bathroom doesn't have access to the check-in list, we'll try to have it as often as possible. However, if it's not available, it's not available. However, if you do have duty there and you have your Chromebook, please check in the students, because it's really going to help keep them held accountable. And that's about it. This is only going to be as useful as people are willing to use it and try it out. This is not going to be a perfect system, but it will help us to keep the students more accountable. So, I appreciate your participation in this. And also, it's less paper, and once we get used to it, it really should be less time. And actually, students might find this more annoying, where those nuisance requests to go out to the hallway should also drop. It's just human behavior. So, if you have any questions, please let me know. Again, I'm open to suggestions. If there's any location or something that's an error on here, please let me know as well. All right. Thank you very much.